Good morning, coolest coast. It is time for coffee with Kristen and Tina. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristen and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristen Odell of Grow with KLO. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. So happy to see you. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. Hey, what were we doing in that picture?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to go back and watch the replay, but Raisa had a perfect comment. She said, I think you girls are looking for spring.
Like, I feel like, did we really both do that at the same time, or is that some good editing?
Okay, it is editing. It's a snip of I saw you doing it in a shot. I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And so then I scrubbed through the video to find one of myself doing the same
Oh,
thing.
I love it. Austin, good morning. Austin is one of my like forever ago friends. Aw,
Good morning, Austin.
that's nice.
So one thing I want to say is thank you to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring this show, and look at these cool new cups we have.
It's as big as my head. It's so fabulous.
I am so excited about this because it's so big, right? So there's quantity. And like you were saying, you've had coffee in it for a while already this morning, and it's still hot. And it's like a travel mug. Cheers.
Um, yeah, first of all, I drove all the way out to school and back today to drop the girls off, and I still had coffee left. That's always a win.
Mm.
It was still warm. I mean, these are like just you went all out. These are Yetis. It totally kept it hot. It's huge. Has a nice big handle and a like I don't even know what to do. I like them both so much.
And we were just talking about, so I have the cover on mine, right? Like I don't 100% trust myself to have such a big coffee cup just sitting around without the cover. No, but I'm also ready to travel to the office later. But you said you prefer yours without the cover, Kristen.
I do because I like slurping it in. I like doing the like hot like thing. I like that. I know it's not that obnoxious. I did that on purpose for the sake of the show.
Do not try this at home.
Mean, you can try it, but I wouldn't yeah, especially if it's hot. But I feel like I can take more in, I can take it faster if the cover is off.
Mm,
So, yeah, I'm coverless today.
nice. Well, hold on one second. Let's see. Oh, look at Jason said, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Jason.
Hey, can we just talk for a minute? Mr. Jason, you've been on the radio in the morning. Can we tell our viewers like, our viewers know Jason is coolest coast.
Sure. So WOMT Radio, Lee Douglas, national treasure, or at least a local treasure, has been on the radio for a long time, and he has to undergo a medical procedure, hoping that all goes well. In the meantime, the radio needs a voice. So he trained Jason to fill in for him for the next couple of weeks. So Jason's doing like the 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. And, he dedicated a song to my grandma this morning. I thought that was really special.
And he's on WOMT, correct?
Right, which is
So,
12:40 AM and 107.9 FM.
okay, so if you guys wanna catch the voice of coolest coast on the radio, go to WOMT and listen in the morning, it's so cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, he would love that.
Did Jason ever imagine a career, short or long term, in radio?
I don't think so, but I mean, he's got a great voice for it, so
I saw a lot of really positive comments this morning online that people like listening and hearing his voice, so
aw. I'm gonna put up a picture of him. This is unrelated, but so this is Jason standing up, and he was at a meeting, but the reason I wanted to share this picture is, Kristen, look at how cool the place we live is, right? So this is at the Maritime Museum, and so what you can see behind over one shoulder is the USS Cobia submarine, now turned 80 years old, and the courthouse dome. Isn't that
yeah,
cool?
that's awesome. When I'm looking at Jason's outfit, he looks like Gru from Minions today. You know who Gru is?
I do. You know what? Okay, wait. I can see that. That's adorable. Jason said,
Jason, you have a
oh,
face for live video also. Don't say that, that's terrible. But yes, that is cool. Again, we've talked about that room at the Maritime Museum, and it's neat.
yeah. So that's where the Women's Summit was also held. And it was great to just have that outlook over the river, over the cobia, over downtown Manitowoc. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you're not local and you're watching today, there's no view today. It's very foggy and rainy today, and it feels like night, which is why, like, the lamp out there looks like that. It looks like it's evening time today.
Yeah, yeah, don't be misled. It is 8:30 AM on a Wednesday morning, even though it feels like it's pre-evening or early evening somewhere.
Love it. I love
Hey,
it.
we were talking about these cool coffee mugs from Just Orthodontics, and then you said, it's a real win. Well, also win, let's talk quickly about these hats. Kristen, I think you would look adorable in this hat.
I
I
don't
would
know
give it to you if I could.
if I could hand grab it. Okay, you guys, listen. We've got a couple of these hats from Just Orthodontics. They've been so cool. They've, like, given us all these goodies. So Just Orthodontics says these. We are going to give 2 of them away this week. So you have between now and Saturday to comment. The comment word is
Smile.
smile.
And if you forget, just look right here on this hat. See how it says smile? Whoa, smile.
Smile, just smile. So comment. I'm trying to point to our comment box and I'm not being successful. Our comment box is right here. Comment the word smile. You'll get thrown in for an entry. We'll announce when are we going to announce the winner? So they have through Saturday to enter.
Yep, and then we'll announce on Sunday.
Okay. You don't have to be local. If you're local, we'll drop it off. If you're not, I'll ship it. How about that?
Well, no, you have to pick it up at the Just office, actually.
Okay.
Was
Sorry.
the request because they would like to see your smile when you walk in the door.
Okay, so you got to pick it up from Just. So you do
Yeah.
have to be somewhat local.
So I'm sorry if you are watching from Germany or you're watching from Japan, this contest is not for you, but we're so glad you're watching. Um, so right, and so you do not have to be watching live, right? We love it when you're live and we love it when you comment. If you comment live, great. But you have a couple of days, even in replay, to still comment the word smile for your chance to win.
Yes.
And then I want to see pictures of you wearing the hat. It would be so
That is
cool.
true. They do look really comfy and cozy.
I know. I really want to try one on, but I did not want to disturb it in any way for the person that wins
They're
it.
very
So
cute. Tina, would you say that these are more like men's hats or women's or maybe one of each?
oh, I totally think anyone could wear them.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure, do men wear the hats with the pom poms?
Oh no, maybe someday.
Okay, okay. I mean, I could see wearing it like doing yoga, snoga. I saw your girls outside yesterday on their rollerblades, which is cool. I can envision all of them in these hats.
They're like, "Oh, it's 40. We're going outside." Like, "Mom, it's so nice out. You gotta let us play outside. Like, we can't do homework. We have to play outside." I'm like, "It is 40. I don't care. Go outside. Fine." It's like it's 80
Nice.
degrees or something.
Yeah, it's amazing what that does, right? Like once it gets above freezing after the winter. I was driving around with my window open yesterday in the car.
It's like, I'm not gonna stop you. I mean, you still have to get your homework done, but please, by all means, go play outside.
So when did they find time to make leprechaun traps? Because you shared a couple of pictures. I want to know more about these cool leprechaun traps.
Okay, so last Friday, we hosted some friends and my mom for dinner for St. Patrick's Day. So I made boiled potatoes, corned beef, roasted carrots. We had cheesy potatoes. We had traditional Irish
Oh.
soda bread. That's in the upper right corner. Um,
What's the black dots in the soda bread?
raisins.
Oh.
And I ate my cabbage, so you don't see cabbage on my plate, but, like, it was all so good and so delicious and
Soda delicious. Soda
so
bread, soda.
delicious. And then my mom made pistachio torte, which I forgot to send you a picture of, but that was delicious. And so while we were hanging out and visiting, I had supplies for the kids to make leprechaun traps. So this is kind of something like I did on and off growing up as a kid. I can remember using like ice cream pails and different things. So I collected some lovely Amazon boxes from around the house and found some fun, like this was like vinyl sticky paper and some other supplies at Hobby Lobby, and the kids got to go to work. So
So what happens with the leprechaun trap? Like, oh my gosh, look, I love the little lure of the gold coins up the ladder. Like,
So they built the traps and then they each picked a spot where they thought the leprechaun was going to be. So this is Josie's. She thought for sure the leprechaun was going to be looking for Lucky Charms in the pantry. So hers is set up in the pantry. And yes, she tried to lure him in with some gold pirate booty she had here. And then the tricky thing is the black little spot in the middle was actually like a trap door. So if the leprechaun stood on that, he was gonna fall in.
okay.
Nora chose to put hers. Hers was by the front door because she thought, that's the most easy access into our house. And she again lured him with shiny shamrocks and um, some money. And she wrote, I don't know if you guys can read this, but it's the cutest little thing. Dear Leprechaun, thank you for coming, and I hope I catch you. Love, Nora.
So did they catch a leprechaun?
They did not, but when they got up in the morning, things were certainly in a disarray. It appears that the traps were tripped. There were things kind of scattered about, but they did get some treasures. So the girls found some of these shamrock coins laying around their traps. Maybe they like flew out of his pockets. And then did each find in their trap a bag of some gold mined bubble gum, golden
Oh,
nugget gum. So it
cute.
was
So this is a tradition I had never heard of. I was never aware of. So is that the goal, like, to get a little treat
the
if you
goal
don't
is
get the
to catch a leprechaun. In place of the leprechaun, sometimes you get the.
Ah, gotcha.
So I can remember when I was a kid one time, I got, the little Debbie like snowballs. They were like coconut covered things. I got a
Mhm.
pack of those, but they were the green ones for like St. Patrick's Day. So I can
Oh.
remember like that was one of the things we got as a little kid.
Okay.
One time we got a little hat. We like found the leprechaun's hat.
And
So
so is it like Saint Nick? Do you do it the eve before leading into St. Patrick's Day or the night of St. Patrick's Day?
there's no rules. So this year, since St. Patrick's Day was on a Friday, we just did it as part of the activities on the day and said, if
Oh.
he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like, it's not if we catch one, we catch one. It's just all in good fun.
You might have some little engineers in your hands too. It looks like they did a good job.
Right. Well, and I mean, in theory, leprechauns exist 365 days a year, right?
Oh, I would think so.
They only
Unless they're like Rumpelstiltskin and they sleep for the rest of the time.
right, like, they don't only come out just on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, so maybe they can be lured anytime.
Maybe. Are they leprechauns throughout the year or are they only leprechauns on St. Pat? There's so much leprechaun lore that I am not aware of.
Nor am I. I just
So,
love exploring their engineering skills and letting them be creative and have fun. And again, there's something magical about childhood. So, if there's a little bit of magic for the day, then I think that's fun.
well, the fact that you remember what you got from a St. Patrick's Day when you were a kid, right? It has an impact. It's creating those memories.
Yeah.
Viewers, if you have a tradition of making leprechaun traps or memories of leprechaun traps, let us know. I would love to hear, what it was like, what they leave behind. Following up, by the way, Austin commented, "Yes, we wear pom poms." He said, "I even have a hat that has a horn and ears." To be fair, it is a unicorn hat. Awesome.
Austin, I would expect nothing less from you.
Well, Austin, I hope that you will type smile in the chat then.
So Austin lives in Hartford, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
So he's one of our non-local. Now, yeah. Sorry, Austin. I tried.
Next time. We'll see if we can figure out a different method.
That is true.
Unless, Austin, you think that you're going to be coming to Manitowoc, or you could send a representative or a designee, someone in your proxy to pick it up.
Sending a representative sounds like very political.
Hey, so on St. Patrick's Day, we went out, and I have to say, I don't know this person. Like, I don't know who it is. I wish I could tell you her name, but her costume was so fantastic. I'm like, can I please take your picture? Didn't she just like rock the St. Patrick's Day look?
Very, very cute. I especially love the mustache and goatee.
Me too.
Cute. You know, one of the things when I think about, like, Ireland, like, real Ireland, not St. Patrick's Day, is, like, the cream colored wool sweaters, woven wool sweaters, so, when I see her sweater, like, that makes me think of, like, real Irish wool.
Right. Funny. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
Mhm. Have you ever been to Ireland, Tina?
I have not.
Mm.
Both of my great grandmas were Irish, so I really someday would like to, but I haven't. Have you? Did you go?
Yes, my mom and I went, I have to think about how many years this is, probably, like, 18 years ago, 2006, my mom and I went, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. There's so many I can remember seeing buildings there, and this goes for Europe and other places in the world, but, like, there's nothing in the United States is as old as these buildings.
Right, right.
You know, just we were in awe of some of how old, and how much history there is there, but we had a wonderful time. It was really fun.
Yeah, experiencing that history is really good for perspective. So, like, did you travel all around the country? Did you go to a specific spot? Tell me some of the highlights.
We flew into Dublin and rented a car and, like, literally drove all over. So, I have to think about this. Southwestern corners, like the Ring of Kerry. We went to the Waterford Crystal Factory and saw glass getting blown there. We stayed in a castle there. Then we, like, drove up to where, like, the cliffs of Moher are, and we stayed in a very little town called Doolin, and that was wonderful. And we actually ended up we stayed at a bed and breakfast there that was owned by the O'Connors, which my maiden name is O'Connor. So it was kind of cool to just talk about, the chances of that happening, and had a wonderful time. And yeah, we just kind of drove all over. And if we saw something cool we loved, we stopped, and we did do the Blarney Stone. We kissed the Blarney Stone. And I don't know, there's just so much to see and so much to do there. It's a beautiful country.
Okay, you mentioned driving. Was do they drive on the opposite side of the road in Ireland? Was that a challenge?
The opposite side of the road, and they drive on the opposite side of the car.
Mm,
Mm.
right.
So you're on the left side of the road, but the right side of the car, if that makes sense. It was very challenging. And, like, in the first 10 minutes, I can remember saying to my mom, like, if this is how it's going to be, we're just going to go right back to the airport. Cause it was like one time we got in a roundabout and we went around the roundabout like 3 times because I couldn't figure out how to get out of the roundabout because, like, instead of us, we go to the right in a roundabout. This is like, I'm going left into the round. It was challenging, but we did get the hang of it. Um, and again, like, you can see when you're just driving around, you can see and take in so much of the countryside that it was really beautiful.
Oh, that is so cool. Did you catch any leprechauns while you were there?
I didn't. I didn't.
Any
No,
spottings?
I don't think so.
Mm, cool.
We were there 11 days. It was awesome.
Would you recommend it as a trip?
Yes, absolutely. Doug and I have
Oh,
it on our bucket list. So Doug has been to Ireland and I've been to Ireland, but we've never been to Ireland together. So that's the goal is we would love to go back and tour again.
God, that sounds awesome. Hey, by the way, Kayla followed up and she said that the woman, the little dressed for St. Patrick's Day, is Mrs. Korleski. She was my school nurse. She said, Kristin, our country neighbor.
Oh, I didn't even know that. No wonder I thought she was so cool. Oh, Miss Cor
Cool.
Kayla, I love that you know her. Now her beautiful face has a name.
I love that. Yeah, you're right. Kayla, thanks for knowing that. Thanks for telling us that. That's one
Kayla
of the things that I love about this show, right? I love chatting and connecting and learning new things.
Kayla, make sure you comment smile so you can win one of those hats. Kayla and her husband have been boiling local sap and making maple syrup. How fun is
That is pretty cool.
as a hobby?
Is it for you there, Kayla, like for your consumption, or do you make enough that you sell it? Do you go to like the farmer's market or anything? No.
Just for their family and maybe a few lucky friends.
Yeah. Do, Kayla, do you use it as leprechaun bait?
You could use that stuff as leprechaun bait. It's so good. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yes. It's so fun.
Cool.
Okay.
What else have you been up to?
I was just gonna say, Miss Tina, what did you guys do for St. Patrick's Day meal?
So we went to the yacht club. The yacht club had a jazz quartet for the symphony orchestra playing, and then that's where I saw Mrs. Korleski. Woohoo!
I love
And
it.
yeah, we went with my parents and we took our son, and it was just such a fun time. I think we thought we might get around to more places, but we just ended up spending most of the night there.
Yeah. One of the cool things I heard from a number of people was like they went out for corned beef to places like Moore's had it, the Wine Bar had it. I'm not sure who else. All those places were sold out. Like some people couldn't get corned beef on St. Patrick's Day because they were sold out. So, uh,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know people kind of maybe that's a time when they tend to go out and be willing to buy a meal out, but I'm happy for all those restaurants. That's great news.
By the time we ordered at the yacht club, they were sold out of that too.
Really? What did you end up eating?
I had a little tenderloin.
That sounds good.
Yeah, which was great. So, I mean, I kinda don't mind that they were sold out because my meal was really good, but
We were joking at the gym this morning because we're in what we call a deload week, which just means it's a little bit lighter, slower pace. And I was sweating my butt off. And all of a sudden I was like, maybe the salty corned beef I ate on Friday has finally sweated out of like, I was like, why am I so gross today? And I'm like, "Oh, maybe I've still been holding on to that salty corned beef."
interesting. I suppose it makes a difference.
I don't know. Do you think? Do you ever
Do you
notice?
find do you find a difference, like, when you work out that there's differences depending on if you've eaten, like, really mindfully and healthfully or if you've
I mean, I definitely feel a difference. What I would say is I notice if I eat salty foods, like, are my fingers fat and chubby, or do I feel like I'm holding on to liquids? That doesn't have anything to do with the gym. It has everything to do with my sodium intake and the volume of food I have eaten. Uh,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. In general, you're right. I just feel better if I eat better, right? Like, when I eat lots of veggies, lots of good stuff,
mhm,
I feel better.
yeah. But I
It's
mean, like,
something
I slow roasted that corned beef. I started at like 10:30 in the morning and I did it on 300 until like 5 o'clock. And then I turned the oven off and I let it just kind of sit in there and get happy in the juice. And then I took it out to rest and I never opened it. It was tinfoil. It was in a roaster pan, but tinfoiled also. So it was pretty sealed shut. And then right before we were ready to eat, I pulled it out and then I sliced it. And it was like fork tender. Some of the slices wouldn't even slice because it was falling apart.
mm.
Like, so delicious. So, regardless of the salt content, I was gonna eat my weight in wheat.
What I wanna know is how did when you peeled back the aluminum foil, like 100 leprechauns not come racing out for it?
Well, I mean, so you're onto something there because, right, the whole house when you roast corned beef, there is a distinct smell that fills your home. So, like, Doug came home from work and he was like, "Holy cow, it smells good in here." Right? So, it's kind of like a beacon on the house. It's like, why can't I think of it? What's the Halloween movie where the spell book shoots the light up into the air? Hocus Pocus. It's like that.
Hmm.
It's like
Oh,
that
nice.
for leprechauns.
Well, I have to say thanks to my mom because on Saturday then, she invited us over and she had slow cooked ribs and,
Ooh,
like, made her own barbecue sauce. It was so good, like, literally just, like, falling off the bone, ready to melt in your mouth.
that sounds awesome. So this is a totally different subject, but I just want to mention it because we talk a lot about downtown activities and like cool things in our community. Last night, I had an opportunity to work with the board for the Historical Society and work on some strategic planning. And I continue to be impressed with like the number of buildings and the activities and programming that they offer. And I know it's a little bit off the beaten path for us. It's a little bit out in the county on Highway JJ. But you guys, you got to check out some of the stuff they have coming up for this spring and summer. They've got events and music and kids programming and homeschool programming and all kinds of really cool stuff. That's going to be great for all ages. So Please go
Yeah,
check.
I'm really glad you brought that up because it's true. They're doing a great job of kind of keeping history alive and bringing history to life and making it relevant with all sorts of hands-on, cool, interactive activities.
Yes, and I mean, you can go there and, like, watch a blacksmith work with metal, right? You can go and watch somebody bake. You can go and watch people sew and, like, one of the examples I heard that's I think it's this weekend, they hired a woman to come in and teach, like, clothing, like, how to sew traditional clothing, and it's a workshop for 2 days on the weekend, and it's sold out. And I think, like, how incredible, like, what a cool experience, right? So, they have all different things, and they do a lot of events also, like small plate events and food events where it's not just something that's about history. Sometimes you might go out there and you'll be like, "Yeah, we've been out there," but these are actually like interactive experiences or food experiences or beverage. Um, so definitely go check it out.
I love it. One other thing I want people to be aware of and maybe check out the theater that is across from Washington Park has been converted back to the Mikado. So the Mikado is what it once was, and now for like only $5 a ticket, they are showing all of these cool older movies. And so Teek and I went and checked out The Iron Giant just recently, and it was so cool. I'd never seen it on the big screen. I've always loved that movie. And we also took him to see Risky Business a couple of weeks ago. Like, I remember that. I'm a Gen Xer, right? I remember Risky Business. I kind of wish I had previewed it before we took him. I forgot actually how risque some of the movies were that I grew up with.
I mean, he's practically an adult. You know,
I know.
like maybe seeing it with your mom is weird, but
I looked over at one point and he was like,
what better way for him to learn, Tina? I mean, come on. No, I love do you know the name of the family that opened that? It's escaping my brain right now.
it is escaping mine too. It's the same family that has What the Lock.
Yes. So, anyway, I love that they've opened it up. I love that they're trying to bring it back to life and to keep that open as an option. We have been there prior to them owning it many times and have had such good experiences, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that it's an option, and again, that it's like some of these older movies. So as part of the previews, they're gonna be screening Casablanca coming up,
Yes.
which
Um,
when is the last time we've had a chance to see Casablanca on the big screen? I think never for me.
what's the age of that movie?
Casablanca, oh, it's Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman in their prime, so
40s, 50s?
I think so.
That's my best guess. I don't really know.
You know what? The topic in Casablanca, it's like World War II, right? So it's gotta be like 50s, I would say.
Yeah, that is so cool. Do you know what movie this is not one of those movies, but do you know what movie we watched with the kids 2 weekends ago that they loved?
Oh, no, what?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Let's see if you can guess it. It
Okay.
is about a dog.
It's about a dog.
Mhm.
It's about a dog. Lassie.
No.
It's about a dog. Oh, wait, Austin said 1943 for Casablanca.
Thank you, Austin.
Wow, yeah.
There's we
Way to
have
be
so speedy.
way to be on point.
Yes. Okay.
Austin, I think you should comment, smile, and we'll figure out how to get the hat to you.
I did
Okay,
offer to ship it. Um,
so it's about a dog. So it's not Minions?
no. I'll give you a hint. It is more than 15 years old. It's probably more than 20 years old.
Is it like Space Dog or something?
No, it's about an unwanted dog.
Does it start with an M?
No.
Okay, guys, help me out. I need some hints in the comments.
I'll give you another hint. It's a big dog.
Marmaduke? Oh no, it starts with an M. Uh, Clifford the big red dog?
Nope.
Oh,
You're
what?
the movie is real life people and real life dog. Nope, doesn't start with an H. Oh, look at Austin. He's like being our programmer. I love it.
Aw. Yeah, in case you're watching, Austin says, please comment smile for your chance to win one of two beautiful Just Smile hats. You got it, Austin.
I just smiled twice.
Okay, so it does not start with an H, does not start with an M. It's not Clifford the Big Red Dog.
No. The plot line is an evil veterinarian.
Wait, is it 101 Dalmatians?
No. You're getting
I'm
close.
exhausting my knowledge of dog movies.
Dalmatians are not
Um,
big.
oh yeah. Um, I need another hint. Viewers, do you know?
Classical music. That's a good hit.
Is it the movie where the animals actually have human voices?
No. Okay, I'll tell you. Yes,
Wait,
Lisa! Lisa, you win the high five.
I
Beethoven.
don't know. I don't know this movie.
You don't know Beethoven? Okay, now you guys have to
No.
watch that, and it's clean. Um, yes, we watched Beethoven 2 weekends ago. We did Sunday night. We call it picnic night. We had eat in the living room, lay out a blanket, watch. It was so good. The kids thought it was great, and it's like 25 years old. Again, just like good family TV.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
You know, speaking of movies, the Oscars were just on. Jason and I had watched Everything Everywhere all at once. And then it won all these awards. So we watched it again. And I liked it even more the second time. I recommended it to my parents, and they didn't like it at all. Like it did not appeal to them at all. So, which is interesting, right? Like to be on such opposite ends. So I'm
Yeah,
wondering, viewers, have you seen this movie? What did you think? Have you seen it, Kristen?
I haven't. Maybe I'll put that on my bucket list for this weekend. I really have to say, with the exception of like kids' movies, that I really haven't seen many modern adult. Like I don't know. We don't really go to the movies. We'll watch them from home, but even then, it's usually kid stuff. It's not usually adult.
Yeah. Right, right. Now that Teek's a teen, we've branched out, but you're right. When he was growing up, it was all of the kid stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everything that was family friendly.
Okay. What's the name of it again?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay. I'll have to put it on our list. We'll check it out. We'll see if we have time to sneak it in this weekend. Doug will probably be like, "What is this?"
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't, but so I'd be curious to know other people's thoughts and opinions. What did people appreciate it? Did they not get it? Was it just too much over the top?
Why do you think your mom why do you think your mom and dad had is it like a generational difference? Is it like
Well, it's a movie that has a multiverse concept, which is, a concept that's only kind of recently appeared in movies, right? So maybe partly that. There's also a lot of like kind of martial arts styling that happens, right? In a fun way, also. Uh, but so maybe because it's that sort of like fantasy angle, multiverse, you know,
so is it like
martial arts.
Star Wars meets like Rush Hour meets I don't know.
Ah, I don't think that there's really, well, I don't know. You know what? Watch it and let me know. I'm afraid to say too much. It is everything everywhere all at once.
Okay, you guys watch it. Comment over here from us. Tell us what you think. I'll see
Yeah.
if
And
I'm doing
otherwise, what other movie recommendations do you have? I'd love to know that too.
Beethoven.
Yeah. I have to look that up. I can't believe I've never heard of it or seen it.
Okay, your job's to watch Beethoven between now and next week Wednesday, and my job is to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And then we'll compare notes.
Deal.
Sounds good. You guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been so much fun. Remember, for a chance to win these hats, type smile in the chat. We'll announce the winners chosen at random on Sunday. Thank you to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring our show today. We really appreciate you chatting in and making it so much fun.
Have a great day, guys.